Today we are going to be predicting Chapter 6 of Deltarune. Now you may have noticed I have gotten significantly better at recording stuff and editing, So you guys will be able to watch some Deltarune footage in the background. I should be playing Deltarune right now, or maybe even Undertale, for your entertainment, with some music in the background, I guess, for your entertainment. And by the way, I've actually bought a microphone, which is really cool. It's like this small mini one I got from Amazon. It was actually pretty cheap. I'm holding it up right now. That it's fun. Anyways, the intro's over now. Let's get into the video. Quick note that I'm not gonna cover the weird route, like what I predict for that, because I have not played the weird route, and I don't want to spoil myself. Now, the major one thing that every single chapter has had is a dark fountain. Now, Chapter 1, the dark fountain took place in the closet. Chapter 2, it was the library. Chapter 3, Kris's own home. Chapter 4, the church. Chapter 5, Asgore's flower shop. And Chapter 6, yeah, we don't know yet. Now, I predict that it's actually the hospital. Remember? The place where Rudy is, sick and stuff? Now, the reason I believe that it's the hospital is sort of a weird thing, but yeah, I don't know. Now, Rudy is clearly the knight. I don't want to get into theories and stuff, but Rudy or Carol are the knight, clearly. I don't know why people think it's Des, because December holiday, they're dead or in the dark fountain and stuff. How are they the knight? I don't understand that. And now that Rudy fell off a ladder and stuff, he'll probably have to be in the hospital even more now, right? And Carol is probably gonna be near him, right? Cause she's his literal husband, wife. And the most accessible spot so that Rudy and Carol will both be there to be in the dark fountain is in the hospital, because they will just stab the ground really easily, and dark stuff will come up, and it's really easy, Anyways, other than other places like the pizza shop, the diner, Sans' shop, there's not too many places where we could have a dark fountain. I asked my friend where he thought it, and he said, oh, the graveyard. Yeah, I don't think that works, buddy. Next, the enemies, because every single chapter also has certain enemies. They're not really enemies, but you have to fight them in order to progress. In Chapter 2 you got the wires. In Chapter 1 you got the Rudens, Hathies, and all that stuff. Now, at the start, at the beginning of the hospital, the little patient waiting room, there's this little bead play toy thingy with 6 beads and 3 wires, 2 beads at the end of each wire, and if you interact with it, it says something oh, your head is messed up now, because it's so confusing and stuff. And obviously that sort of has to turn into an enemy, right? Now, my idea for an enemy is 3 encounters. There's only 3 darkeners, and it's 2 beads separated by string, right? So 1 darkener is 1 bead, and then a string running through, and then another bead. Their name will be called beadums, B-E-A-D-T-U-M-S, because bead, and bead dumb, because beat 'em up or something, I don't know. With an act where you gotta slide them together so both of them are on the same side. That's a good idea. Also, in Rudy's room, there's a doll angel, sort of a doll, that we actually get to be in as the soul in Chapter 4. And maybe they could be an enemy called an anglet, or an angelet, or something. And one of the acts to spare them could simply be enlightening them with your soul. I mean, your soul shines light on them, and they like the light, so. Now, my final idea for an enemy is a mini boss, like Clover from Chapter 1, called Flower Ina, a play on flowery and flowerina, like, you get it, right? Like, the girl version of flowery, where you actually name one flower from the previous chapter up until you name all 7 flowers to spare them. You can also talk about a different flower in the S and R action so that you don't have to spend 7 dang turns. You only need to spend like 3. So I think it's a good idea. You can like enlighten them. I don't know, it's fine. Now the next thing I'm gonna predict is like a niche sort of a one. It's like a special feature that we get to play with every chapter. In chapter 1 there is no special feature, it's just the entirety of Deltarune, I guess. Chapter 2, we get to play with the recruits a little bit. In chapter 3, the board minigames and a little bit of that like sneaking thing, foreshadowing. Chapter 4, which is the climbing like experience. Chapter 5, which is a whole 2D section where we get to jump. And I don't know for chapter 6. I feel like it'll be one where you get to like sneak past enemies, maybe turn invisible, or like that thing from chapter 3, but expanded on more. Cause clearly, Ralsei is gonna rush us to like seal the Dark Fountain faster, so that we can end the roaring as soon as we can, fight the Roaring Knight, you know? And honestly, it's like super hard to predict what like the next special like feature is. Because who would have predicted Chapter 3's board minigames in Chapter 2? Or even like recruits in Chapter 1? Or like the climbing ability? Or even like, who would have guessed that we were able to jump in Chapter 5? Like jumping in Deltarune? What do you mean? Next, we got character development. We're obviously like gonna see more of Ralsei's dark side, you know? Because he's been using fire magic. He used fire magic in Chapter 5, which like that's crazy. Him using fire magic is like oil being mixed in with water, like ketchup and bananas. And we might even see Ralsei getting a little more like hateful and starting like to fight, because Ralsei was not vibing with Flowery in Chapter 5 right now. Like I'm telling you, man. We might also officially enter Susie's home and get like a huge conflict between the gang, with like Kris's alliance with the Knight getting a little more suspicion thrown on it, because, you know, but traitor. Kris is a traitor. I don't want that. Overall, the gang is just gonna have to learn to be friends and somehow save the world again for like the 6th time, while them being like super angry with everyone else, because Ralsei is being too angry, Susie is just not gonna vibe anymore, Kris is just being too quiet, like, and also Noelle is gonna come here too, and like maybe we're gonna have like a, I don't know, conflict with Noelle. Let's talk about the secret final boss. Now, we clearly know that there's not gonna really be any more secret bosses in Deltarune, because there's no more like shadow crystals to collect, you know? But obviously there is going to be a final boss. But like, what is it going to be? I obviously don't think the Roaring Knight is gonna be the final boss, because if we do beat him up, then who's gonna be the final boss in Chapter 7 when we beat the Knight? I feel that it has to be someone associated with the Knight, because obviously this is gonna be like the second to last dark chapter. Now, we might face off against like Carol or Rudy, whoever isn't the Knight, or we might even face off against, I don't know, like a, I don't know. Actually, I had a thought right now. We're probably gonna have another Kris and the Soul fight right now, right? So maybe Kris is the final boss, and like we're gonna help Susie and Ralsei and all this stuff to like beat them up. Probably not. Yeah, no, there's no way. We're just gonna face off against Carol or Rudy. Now we are doing a lightning quick round on things that I think will happen in Deltarune Chapter 6. We will get a starting Light World segment, but only with Kris and the Soul. We will start to get more confirmation on who is the Knight. We will figure out what the Knight truly wants. Sans will give us some backstory dialogue. We will get a segment where Kris like attacks the Soul and like rips us out of their body in the Dark World. Noelle and Susie make out. Karen and Noelle have a huge argument. Noelle starts dissociating from home and starts spending nights in the Dark World. Susie tells everything about Dark Worlds to Noelle. Bertley gets a sort of a redemption arc that'll come to life in the last chapter. And finally, the shadow crystals will turn into like a valuable shadow, like sludge or something. If you like turn it into sludge or whatever, that you can apply to weapons or armors to enhance them by a lot. Or on the weird route, you could probably turn it into the twisted sword, which if you have the thorn ring and like a pure shadow crystal or something, you can go to Malleus and Malleus can make the twisted sword for you. I'm pretty sure that's what you could also make from the shadow crystals. And we're not doing anything for the weird route because I don't want to spoil it for myself. Anyways, that is a wrap for today's video. I hope you liked it. I sort of did like a 2-week break because, you know, I had school, I had school? It's summer. Anyways, I had like school and stuff. I had other things, life was there. But I did learn how to edit, so bye. Get out of here.